It's time for Chill and Heal. From mental health and anxiety to nutrition and self-care, just chill and live a happy life. Chill and Heal with Chill Spa owner Chrissy Cantor on 99.9 and AM 1370 WFEA.
Well, it's been a while, but we are back in the land of enchantment this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, as I present my good friend Chrissy Cantor, who is your CEO, which stands for Chill Executive Officer. Good morning, Chrissy. I hear you. I see you.
Oh, good morning, Mike, and good morning, New Hampshire and New Mexico and all of our great America. I'm so excited to be back in New Mexico. I'm your Chill and Heal host, Chrissy. I'm here to fuel your mind, body, and soul with goodness. We will connect, open up, share, be real, be raw, overcome. We're going to let go and learn and grow together to simply live a happy life. And remember, sharing is caring, and we are not alone. And I am so excited to welcome my guest and so honored, Jesse Valdez, a veteran, a newsman, a boxer, and 1972 Olympic bronze medalist. Yes. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. And I'm like so excited to have met you in person. Jay has shared so many stories about you, and I wanted to inspire other people.
Well, thank you.
And I wanted to hear a little bit about, who you are. Were you born here? And man, I saw your boxing last night and I was just so blown away.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. Yes.
I'm going to have you speak up a little bit louder,
okay,
just in case people from New Hampshire really need to hear us.
Hey. Yes, I will. I started when I was 11 years old. I had some amateur boxing, and then I ended up going to the Olympics. After all those bouts, and so I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, let's see. Where were you born?
I was born in Houston, Texas.
Wonderful. And you grew up in a home, and a two-bedroom home. And how many brothers and sisters did you have?
Actually, we had one bedroom, and my mom and dad were divorced at the time, and my mom had the bed with the girls, and the boys slept on the floor. And so that we had a small house.
You had a small house.
Yes.
So single mom?
Yes.
Single mom.
My mom and dad were divorced.
Yeah.
And so that's where it was.
Wow. And that was, oh my gosh, many. What year were you born?
I was born in 1947.
1947.
Correct.
Wow. So you lived, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I had 4 brothers and 3 sisters.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Your mother was so busy.
Oh, she was. She had to do a lot of cooking. Well, actually not too much. We had a lot of rice and beans, because we couldn't afford very much at the time.
Oh my gosh. What you've been through, single mom, 1-bedroom apartment,
house,
yeah. And off to the Olympics. I mean, my goodness. So you started boxing,
yes.
And you were telling me yesterday when you were starting to box, like you wanted to, why did you want to start boxing, or how did you fall into boxing?
Well, it started when I was, I went to a boys club and with my brother, and there was a punching bag hanging there, and so I started punching the bag, and there was a guy standing there who was looking at me and was impressed, I guess, and so he came up and asked me, hey, have I ever boxed before? And I said no. He says, well, would you like to be on the boxing team? And I said, okay. And so that's how I got started.
That's amazing. So you just had this amazing natural gift. Someone noticed that from the Boys and Girls Club. Shout out to the Boys and Girls Club, which is amazing.
Thank you.
And so that gift, and you fell in love with it, obviously.
Yes, I did. I was just boxing and boxing and boxing, and I went to the national tournaments and city tournaments, and I got better and better every time because I boxed people that were just as good, if not better than me.
Yeah, so you kept practicing.
Yes, yes.
And you went to school?
Yes, I did. I went to elementary, graduated in high school, barely graduated, but yes.
But you did it.
I did it.
You
Yes,
did it.
So until they caught me cheating, but no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it was good. I graduated, not with honors, but just made it.
You made it through. No matter
through.
what, you made it through.
Exactly. That was important.
Yeah, it is important. Education.
Yeah, exactly.
And finding your gift. And when did you realize you had a gift? Did you know you had a gift, or did you have a love for just hitting the bag?
No, I was just punching the bag and hitting it, and so there was a guy that was there at the gym, at the boys' club, and he asked me if I was interested in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, okay." And so I started boxing and competing and winning, and mainly because I was scared to get hit. So I just went ahead and kept boxing.
That is amazing. And so after high school, you went off into the Air Force?
Yeah, after high school, I went into the I joined the Air Force. Yes, and so as I was I had security. I walked around the SR-71s and aircraft, and I figured, no, there's got to be something better than walking around these planes, and so I called the Air Force boxing coach, and so he recognized my name, and right away I was there at Hamilton Air Force Base on the boxing team.
On the boxing team in the Air Force.
Yes, correct. Yes, correct.
And our dear friend, Mr. Mike, Mr. Chill in New Hampshire, is asking us to speak up a little bit louder.
Okay.
So we're going to lean in and talk a little bit louder.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. You're like just chilling with me. So you go off in, what year is this?
1972.
Okay. 1972.
When I was in the Air Force, yes.
Is when you went into the Air Force, and that's how you got into boxing.
I'd been boxing since I was 11,
Mm-hmm.
but it was, just training until I got good enough after boxing against Marines who were bigger and tougher than I was, but because I was so scared to get hit, they never could catch me.
That's amazing. So when I think about boxing, I don't know a lot about boxing, but I know it's like weights. It's all about the weight. What category were you in?
I started out as flyweights. Well, fighting when I first started, they just went on. They didn't have names for them. They just had how much you weighed. That's how they matched you. But as I got older, they had flyweights, lightweights, middleweights, heavyweights, and stuff like that. So I was a welterweight for as long as I can remember.
And what?
That's 147 pounds.
147 pounds.
Yes.
And I saw your fight, and people need to go and check out on YouTube.
Oh, well, thank you.
Jesse Valdez in Valdez.
DEZ, yes.
All right. And so it was 50 years ago this month that when they had the attack.
Oh, yes.
You want to share a little bit about that? That was something else. The terrorist attack.
Yes, it was. Yeah, what I remember of it is that I remember that when they, I remember the getting everybody out of the area, and I remember putting us on the bus and getting ready to leave when all of a sudden they stopped us and said, "Hey, look, we can go back to the barracks, because apparently that's when they you know, were able to solve the problem that they were having there.
And what we're talking about is the 1972 Olympics, the Palestinian attack that
Right.
killed several Israeli athletes.
Yes.
And when I had heard that, I'm like, it was 50 years ago. And here we are, you know, nowadays, you know, we're still worried about terrorist attacks and so forth. But to be in it, you know, back 50 years ago, how did you feel, and how did you go on? Because I know I saw an interview when you said that, you know, some people didn't want to, you know, continue with the Olympics and some people did. And how did you feel?
Well, I thought that, you know, it was something that we needed to continue doing, because a lot of us worked so hard and for so many years to be where we were at the Olympics.
Yeah.
And so, you know, after it was all over, you know, I went back to where all this happened, and noticing, you know, I just thank God that, you know, I was able to, you know, come out of there alive, so to speak, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm grateful. And I think that, it's very, very courageous. And I know that some people didn't want to continue. And what you had shared before is, you know, you didn't want them to get the best of us. You know, you want, like, no, you're not going to scare us. We're not going to live in fear. And we're going to, you know, we're going to do what we're meant to do.
Right. There were a lot of us that wanted to continue. And of course, a lot of them that didn't. But we outnumbered them, and so they finally decided, okay, we'll continue, and that's how I was able to continue and win my medal. Yeah,
and you won your medal, and amazing fights, and boy, you were fast and smooth
and scared.
Well, you didn't look scared.
No.
And it was unbelievable, and I loved the sportsmanship. Was just unbelievable between you and your fighters, because here, if you're slugging it out, I'm thinking, listen, if someone's slugging it out, I'm pissed. I'm like, that hurts. I might not be nice to him afterwards.
Yeah. I've always, you know, it was something about boxing that, you know, you go out and you shake hands even before, and then afterwards, you know, you shake hands again and you hug, and, you know, what a great fight, you know, you beat the tail out of me, but you know, it was still a good fight. So you know, it was a good time.
It was, and it was such a good feeling, and it was heartwarming to see that sportsmanship. And the Cuban gentleman, oh man, what was his name? Carlos. He won gold, right?
Yeah, he went on to win the gold medal, yes.
Okay, and you won the bronze.
I won the bronze, yes.
Which is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not number one, but I guess third best in the world is not too bad either. So.
Oh, to me, it's the best. It's amazing.
Thank you.
And when at the end he came over and he gave you his flag.
Yeah.
And that was like so beautiful.
Yeah, that really was. I wish I would have had one for him too, for one of our flags, you know, but I didn't. But anyway, that was really, I think, if I vaguely remember that I saw him box again someplace, and you know, we talked a little bit, you know, and so him and his language, and my speaking a little bit of Spanish, it was okay, you know.
That is unbelievable. So you spoke to him a couple times afterwards?
Yes, yeah. We just, how's it going there? What are you doing? And so, you know, he was still boxing, and I had stopped boxing. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, other than fighting with my wife, you know, so. Didn't win those, you know. I didn't win those. So.
You didn't win those. Maybe you're a smart man.
I know. That's right. I am not fighting with her.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
And I'm glad, you know, with your fellow Olympic athletes, it must have been a good feeling afterwards, coming together after that horrific tragedy.
Yeah, we were all together. You know, we were. You know, I remember having a meeting. Just the coaches, not necessarily the coaches, but the team captains. And so I was a team captain for the boxing team, and I remember being, you know, getting together and talking about what had happened and what do we do? Do we continue? Do we stop? Do we not? And so we decided to go, and so we were all, you know, sad because some of our you know, athletes went home, I think, but you know, I vaguely remember.
Mm-hmm. But you had to carry on.
Yeah, we had to carry on. You know, we were, you know, we all decided to carry on, and that's why we did, and so a lot of us did good, and a lot of us, you know, just struggling. But it was good afterwards.
Well, I'm so glad. And I look forward to seeing your medal.
Oh, yes.
I know it's really, really early here in New Mexico.
You know, it's you know, I have it in my safe, you know, and I don't take it out that often, but you know, with family and good friends, that sometimes I forget, you know, to bring it over, and I just live around the corner, you know. So maybe I can go get it, let you see it when I come back, when it's over.
That sounds wonderful. I appreciate that.
Sure.
And I want to share how I got to meet you this morning. And because you live right around the corner.
Yes.
And Jay, my sweetheart, was on the campaign trail. He went from Air Force into wanting to continue to serve in his community. And he was out campaigning. And he knocked on your door, right?
Oh, yeah. And he was surprised I pulled a gun on him. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're a funny guy like Jay, too.
No.
Oh, my gosh. That is so excellent. But you just never know who you're going to connect with. And I think with these times that we're in, there's been too much isolation, and there's the beauty of connecting, and you never know who your neighbor's going to be.
Right.
Your neighbor could be an Olympic medalist, right?
Yeah, he could be. Yeah,
could be.
He could have been a guy that beat me too. So
yes. Or he could have been a newsman,
That's
which
true.
is quite amazing.
Oh, yes. After I boxed, I was offered a job to be a reporter at our local station in Houston, and I realized that was more than too much for me, and so I was going to go back in the military. And they said, "Oh, wait a minute, you know, people already know you're here. They're going to wonder why you're leaving, and so on and so on." And so they said, "Well, you know, if you want, you become a photographer, you know." And I said, "Well, okay, well, that sounds good, you know."
Yeah.
So that's what I ended up doing. I became a photojournalist, you know.
That is amazing. Yeah. And what I had heard before is, you know, you could have gone on and gone pro, but you chose not to.
Yeah, I thought about it, and so I just was kind of concerned because I didn't know how well I would be and how I would do it. But you know what? For some reason, this stands out, and I think it's very important. And I was I boxed in Dallas and won a trip to Poland.
Wow.
And so I said, "Wow, that's great. I'm going to go to Poland," you know.
Yeah.
And but because I was working at a TV station, you know, I was thinking to myself, you know what? Why should I be going over there? What am I boxing? I got a good job, I got a house, I get good payment. So I decided not to go. And then I was, next thing I was watching TV one morning, and it had breaking news. And they said, airplane has crashed, and with 14 American boxers.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
And so, come to find out that that's the plane that I was supposed to be on. So
Wow.
it's only by the grace of God that I didn't go.
Wow.
So, but that's something I'll never forget.
Yeah, because you just never know.
No, exactly. You never do. And I guess the good Lord's not ready to take me home yet,
Yeah, he's not ready to take you home. Not yet.
Not yet. No.
Not yet. You're going to make more people laugh. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I think back, and when you said that you didn't want to become, that you chose a different path, you said the word satisfied. You were satisfied with your life, and I thought that was really interesting, and I thought that was really remarkable, because sometimes we're not satisfied as humans. We're not satisfied, and I thought that was so beautiful. And you were like, you know what? I don't need to do that. I'm satisfied. And you wanted to, continue living your American dream, and another door opened. You got the opportunity to be a newsman. You didn't exactly love that part of it. But then you became a journalist, a photojournalist.
Right.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's, I enjoyed being a cameraman, and because I was able to travel a lot, and so that's I don't know what else to tell you other than I enjoyed the life that I was leading, doing nothing, and I was pretty good at that too. So. But I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, you would share. You traveled a lot. You met a lot of interesting people, and you got to share their stories, and that is, and you love that.
Yeah, I did. It's I enjoyed traveling because I had the opportunity to travel through the USA boxing, and then they'd send us here and send us there, and mainly to have a relationships with other countries, other boxing countries, and so that's what I did, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of traveling, so it was good.
A lot of meeting a lot of extraordinary people.
Oh yes, yes. I can't recall right now, some of the famous people I met, but it was good. It was enjoyable, and I had a good time meeting with them, and they had the same with me. So it was very good.
That is so great. That is so great. And I'm trying to think. I think we're going to be going to break soon. Mr. Chill?
Yes, ma'am. I just tried to reach out to Jamie, actually, to get her on the line, and her phone was busy. So you can't take a break, and I'll see if I can connect with her. It's up to you.
Okay. All right. So let's see. You're a newsman. Do you see a huge difference between the news back then, like 40 years ago, compared to the news today?
Well, not in many cases, especially the case that we have today, which is terrible. And that is, there's a lot of homicides, shootings, and things like that. Back then, it didn't seem like there was as much as there is now, which is sad.
It is sad. It is sad. And to think back, 50 years ago, you were in a terrorist attack, and that I mean, that was significant alone, but now it's kind of like
kind of the same.
Kind of like the same, but it's every day.
Oh, every day. And that's so true. That is so true.
It's kind of crazy.
No, it is. You just, it all depends on, how you live your life. You want to hang around people like that or just, try to live kind of
the good life.
A good life.
The good life.
A life where you just stick with yourself and stick with your family.
Yeah.
It's and take care of them, and they take care of you, and that's what I think. I'm doing now, and I like that.
So faith, family.
Yes.
Good friends.
Exactly. Good reporters.
And good reporters. Oh my gosh, you're amazing, Jesse.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Oh, can I ask you what your nationality is? Because I feel like we are similar. I'm Spanish and Mexican, half Spanish and Mexican and French.
Yeah, I'm a Mexican American.
Mexican American.
Yes. My grandparents were born in Mexico. Just don't ask me where. And so that's a Mexican American. So I grew up as that. Poor. Wondering where I was going to eat next time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But look at you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Making good decisions is very important. And I think that I've made right decisions, and I own my house, I own my car, and have a good family. So what else can you ask for? So.
Yeah, I know. I think the key is, like you said, making good decisions.
Right.
And that is the key thing. And we will, we need to make better decisions. And do you agree we should be listening to our gut? I mean, thinking about it, you could have been on the airplane.
Yeah.
And, we all have different paths. And sometimes, we don't listen to our gut sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. I wondered, sometimes, what would have happened to me for not making right decisions,
Yeah. You could have been on that plane. And my goodness. And I wouldn't be sitting here with you, enjoying this great conversation.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a long trail.
All right. Mike says, sorry for the little technical difficulties. Mr. Mike says Jamie is on the line. Is that true, Mike?
It is. You want to take a break, or do you want to go right to her?
You know what? Let's take a little break, and then we'll bring in Jamie, chill girl Jamie from New Hampshire, to say hello.
Oh.
I'm enjoying the conversation with this great Olympic athlete and man who served our country. For those who didn't know, Jesse has a record prior to the Olympics of 227 wins and only 12 defeats. That's like a 95% rate, which is pretty amazing, Jesse. I'm doing a little homework on you, brother.
Well, thank you. I didn't even know that. My goodness.
All right. I'll tell you what, we'll take a quick break. You're listening to the Chill and Heal Show with your very special guest this morning, Jesse Valdez, Olympic boxer during the 1972 Games, and the host of the show, Chrissy Cantor, returns after these.
Come chill. Manchester's award-winning days by just chill. Come spend a day at chill. Escape the stress of your everyday life. It's good for the mind, body and soul. A boutique spa with all the luxury of a resort. Look chill, feel chill, be chill. Let our talented staff make you fabulous. From couples massage to facials, spray tanning and hair design. We got so much more. Come chill. Manchester's award-winning days by just chill. Come spend a day at chill.
Online at chillspa.com. More than ever before, it's important to take care of your well-being and fuel your mind, body, and soul with goodness. Tune in Wednesdays at 9 a.m. for Chill and Heal with Chill Spa owner Chrissy Cantor, the Chill Girls, and special guests sharing experiences and expert advice on how to keep it simple. Just chill and live a happy life. They'll dive into a variety of topics, from mental health and anxiety to nutrition, self-care, and tips on how to look and feel good every day. Chill and Heal, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on 99.9 and AM 1370 WFEA. We get busy with our day-to-day lives. Chill Spa wants to remind you to take time for you. Making clients look and feel their best is their mission. Chill Spa is here to treat your body, calm your mind, and soothe your soul. Chill specializes in luxurious facials, face and body skin tightening, and cellulite solutions, skin and body contouring, makeup, hair, and nail care, spray tanning, and more. Book your chill time today. 1224 Hanover Street in Manchester. Online at chillspa.com. Chillspa.com.
Now, back to Chill and Heal on 99.9 and AM 1370 WFEA.
Back to you, Chrissy.
I love it. Welcome, Jamie.
Hey guys,
How are you?
I'm fabulous. About to start another great day here at Chill on this gorgeous, beautiful September day, and I'm just loving the conversation today. It's very enlightening, and what an honor to have Jesse there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Jamie.
Oh.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you,
like
Jamie.
goosebumped out. I'm excited
Yeah.
to see his Olympic medal and so inspired, to do what is right.
That's so special and awesome. And, I'm just going to trail right into where we're at in September now. So we are in Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And so our chill specials of the month are going to be give and receive special that we're doing. So all of our products are going to be 10% off to all of our clients. So you're receiving the 10% off, but we are going to give 10% additionally to the Prostate Cancer Coalition, right, Chrissy, or Jeff Cantor?
We're going to give it to Chill Cares for prostate cancer and giving back to those in need, and they can receive their funds through the different patient advocates at Elliott Hospital and Dartmouth Cancer Center as well, and Dana-Farber as well. Caitlin specifically works with them, which is wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure I got that right info out there. So that's going to be extra special this month. So you're going to receive, but as you're receiving, you're also giving back to a great cause. Oftentimes people want to give to causes. They don't know how or the best way. And this is a win-win for everybody. And we're also going to be doing, free infrared sauna sessions with any massage or body treatment this month, because we always circle back to it's about you. And I know we're in, Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Next month's going to be, breast cancer awareness. But we all need to be aware all the time of our bodies and taking care of ourselves. And this way, the more in tune we are with ourselves, we'll be able to know if something's also not right with us, and making the time for ourselves to go get checked and to do early detection. But come on in and relax and chill. Make that time for yourself. So come in, enjoy one of our amazing massages. And I will say, Kim Hoffman, who's now our full-time massage therapist, every client that has been coming to get on the schedule has said that it has been the best massage they've ever had. So her schedule is filling up. I want everyone to come in and experience Kim and her amazing massages or body treatments, and you get a free infrared sauna session, which that infrared sauna is amazing, and it has so many benefits. I won't have time to list them all. We'll be here for 12 more hours, but you need to come in and experience it for yourself and all the benefits that it has. Obviously, if you have any medical conditions that you might question, just, go to your doctor first, but everyone should come in and chill and enjoy a treatment, a free sauna session, and they can get 10% off our products and giving 10% to the prostate cause.
I love it. You are the best, Jamie. You know, you just lift everyone up, make people feel good. And I need to book my chill time and I need to book my massage with Kim. I can already feel the feeling.
Oh, I know. And it's like, I'm still trying to come down from everything we have gone through as a country and the stresses, and we're still not quite there yet. And it's just everyone in some form has, which I know we've talked about on the show before, anxiety, stress, it's tension. You don't even realize it. It doesn't matter what you do, what occupation you have, where you're at in your life. Everyone needs to de-stress right now. We are just so high strung as a nation. So make that time for yourself, because if you keep pouring from an empty, you can't keep pouring from an empty cup. So you need to refill yourself, refuel your soul, so you can be your best for everyone in your life.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Amen.
Well, it was so great catching up with you guys for this short, brief moment. I got to go get ready for my first chill client today who's coming in to get a nice, relaxing session. So I will probably see or be with you guys next Wednesday.
I love it. Thank you, Jamie, so much. And have a beautiful
welcome.
day.
Bye, Chrissy. Bye, Mike. Bye, Jesse.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, it's always so great to have Jamie.
Yes.
Bring some extra sunshine to the Chill and Heal program.
Absolutely.
Excellent. And so I'm going to have my sweetheart, Jay Block, jump in for a few moments to share how he met you and anything else he wants to share, because I think it's so important to connect with people, to be real, lift each other up, and you just never know who your neighbor's going to be.
Exactly.
So
exactly right.
maybe we should be knocking on more doors, Come on in, Jay Block.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Jesse, it is just such an honor to have you here in our home here in New Mexico. And, in 2016, when I was running for county commissioners, when I knocked on your door, and I remember it vividly, and I walked away just awed by you.
Oh, wow.
And I remember you took me because your bag is still hanging in the garage, correct?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and you said, if you can take a punch from me, you'll get my vote. And I remember you showed me your bronze medal and everything. And
Right.
I want to ask you, as a veteran, you're representing your country there in Munich, and you just went through the most horrific terror attack in Olympic history. And you're a veteran serving your country in the U.S. Air Force. And thank you, by the way, for your service there.
Sure.
When they put that bronze medal on you, and you saw the United States flag hanging up there, and granted it wasn't our national anthem, how did that make you feel standing up there on the podium? Were you thinking back of how you started in a one-bedroom house, sleeping on the floor, and here you were on the world stage, representing your country? How did that what was going through your mind when you're on that stage, when they put that medal around your neck? Because, you are just part of a very, very small, tiny group who's ever experienced that. And I'm just curious, how did it make you feel? And what were you thinking on stage?
Well, I was thanking God that I was where I was at the time, and it was I knew that it was very, very difficult to get to where I was, even though I didn't get a gold medal. I thought about the things that I had to do, the amount of workouts that I had to do in order to get to where I was. But it was when I listened to the American flag, that made me feel like I was happy to, even though I didn't win a gold medal, I was still happy to be an American and know that we had an American flag that was able to get me to where I was there.
Yeah, because I mean, during that time in the country, it was, you know, we're still in Vietnam. We're drawing down in Vietnam in 1972.
Yeah.
You know, we're in September of 72. You know, you got Watergate kind of brewing. You had the tumultuous 60s with assassinations and riots. And then you had the 68 Olympics where American athletes were protesting on the medal stand. You know, it's just a tough time in our country. And here we are again, another tough time in our country. Did you feel like the country was coming together? Did you feel like as Olympic athletes from all over the country for the Americans and all over the world from just, you know, so much diversity there, did the athletes, especially the Americans, did they just feel like, even though everything was going on in the country, were they like proud to be representing their country overseas on the world stage?
Yes, I think so. Everyone that I talked to, you know, every American that I talked with, you know, we were happy and glad and fortunate to be where we were, you know, because it's not everybody that can be an Olympian. And so we used to talk about some of the things that happened. You know, I remember walking along with some fellow athletes, you know, going and looking at where all this stuff happened, you know. And so, you know, we were fortunate and happy to be to get to where we were.
You know, this is during the Cold War. And how was the relationship? Because, you know, you fought a Cuban.
Yeah.
The Cubans were not our friends. They still are not our friends. Yeah. And then you had the Soviets there and, you know, the East Germans at the time. And in 1972, if I remember correctly, the men's basketball team got robbed of a medal by the Soviets, if you remember that.
Exactly.
So when you came across these other countries, the Soviets, the Cubans, the East Germans, did you guys sit and talk at all?
No, I don't. I think the only thing we talked about is competition. You know, we were fortunate in being there, and you know, we talked about the athletes that were in the same sport that we were in, and you know, and how proud we would be to you know, win a medal. You know.
Yeah. So again, you know, I'm looking at some of your notes here, and I've watched some of your interviews, and Chrissy and I watched a couple of your fights. And I think one thing that's interesting is you fought in front of tens of millions of Americans on TV, and Howard Cosell did your fight. And you actually got to meet him and be friends with Howard Cosell. And for those of you who don't know Howard Cosell, you know, I'm 51. We grew up with Howard Cosell on all these major sporting events, but you know, he's the guy who did the commentary on your fight in front of tens of millions of Americans, and he became a friend of yours, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah, we had he did an interview with me after it was all over, and you know, after the interview, you know, we sat down and talked about my life. What am I going to do now, and how did I get to where I was, and so we became good friends, you know.
Yeah. In the 72 Olympics, that was the first time that Germany hosted the Olympics since 1936.
Yeah.
And Jesse Owens went back to the 72 Olympics as a guest, obviously an honored guest. Did you get to meet Jesse Owens?
No, I never did that I can remember. And I think if I ever did, I probably wouldn't remember anyway. So, you know, it's, you know, I heard a lot about Jesse Owens and how good he was and how well he did.
Yeah. I mean, just an American hero like you are as well.
Thank you.
So going back to how you grew up, where you grew up, single mother, you're sleeping on the floor, you just happen to go to the boys club and a guy says, hey, you want to box, and you got some talent, you work your way up. You're the #1 amateur welterweight in the world, by the way. And you've gone through all these challenges. You know, you had some issues in school with reading and writing, and here you are at the young age of 75?
72, I'd
70,
like to think.
and,
We'll leave it at that.
And you live in a beautiful home here in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. When you look back and you think of all these challenges and all these hurdles that you had to go through in life, how did you get through them? Was it through prayer? Was it certain people along the line that helped you out?
Well, it was all those, mostly through prayer, because you never know what's going to happen to you, what your life is going to be like when all this is done, but I was fortunate in meeting and talking with people that were interested in me because of my boxing ability, and it was through a coach that introduced me to he introduced me to a judge who was looking for a bailiff, and so the Judge Lesher, was one that got me in as his bailiff, and it was because of him that I was able to do so well.
So it seems like there was all these little events in your life that might have seemed minor at the time, where it opened the door and you took the opportunity and have done really well. And I kind of look at boxing, and I've never boxed because I would get my butt kicked pretty easily. But little technical difficulty there. So, I look at boxing as life. I mean, when you're in that ring, and you're getting a crap beat out of you. By the way, your record was something like 212 wins and how many losses?
I don't
227 and 12.
What's that?
227 and 12, Jay. And
oh, wow. 227 wins and 12 losses.
Yes,
Jesse Valdez. That's amazing. But I guess what I'm saying is, when you're in the boxing ring and you're just struggling and you're getting your butt kicked, that's kind of like life, don't you think? And you just can't give up.
No, you can't. And I before I go in, I always wonder, what it's going to be like. All I know is that boxing at the time, there's two styles: a style that you go in there and try to knock this guy's head off, and the other one is to not to let him do that. And so I was the latter, and I just what they say, stick and move. If you want to hit me, catch me. And so that's how I was able to get along through those fights.
Was there ever a time when you were training for the Olympics when it just became so hard? You're like, you know what? I don't think I want to do this anymore. I'm thinking about quitting.
No, I don't remember that. All I know is that I enjoyed boxing. I enjoyed punching the bag, and so I don't think I ever thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good sport. It kept me busy. I was able to, because of it, I was able to travel the world. Is going to different countries to help other boxing teams.
So, we live in New Mexico. It's a poor state. And boxing to me is a Hispanic sport. Hispanics love boxing, love baseball. And, we have a lot of poor young kids here in New Mexico, and the issues that we have
Yes.
a lot here, unfortunately, with our state. What would you tell these kids out there? And I know you've worked with kids a lot, Jesse, here in New Mexico. What do you tell these kids that are growing up in some really challenging conditions about life and about how to get out of their situation?
Well, that's it's very difficult, because I just tell them about my life, and I was tell them that mainly they need to know the difference between right and wrong. And once you explain to them, the difference, they kind of get it. And so that's basically it. I tell them about the good things that happened to me that happened to me that I did that were right. And because, I did those things that were right, I am where I am right now, got a house, got a car, and
Got me as a neighbor.
Got you as a neighbor. Yeah. And who are you anyway?
Yeah.
No, but that's very true. But I've been very, very fortunate in life. I've always thought about growing up. What am I going to do? What's going to happen to me? And so I really enjoy life.
So going back to your boxing career here, can you tell me what your best fight was and what your worst fight was?
They were all good and bad. I really not bad, but mostly disappointed, I guess. And I really can't tell you. I was always disappointed in all the fights that
you won, right?
Pardon?
Disappointed even some of the fights you won because you could have done a little bit better.
Oh, absolutely. But that's life.
That's life, yeah. Yeah, and you get back. You've obviously been knocked down a few times.
Oh yes, yeah. I can remember boxing and then punching and moving, and all of a sudden I'm down. What am I doing? Looking at the mat, And so,
how'd I get here?
Yeah, when I knew how I got there, is just trying to get up, But that's how I was able to do it.
Well, Jesse, I wanted to introduce you to Chrissy because you're just, an amazing man who's done so much with his life. And I know of all the stuff that you've done in the community, giving back, and you're still a little bit involved in the boxing community. People look up to you, they respect you, they just love you. And
thank you. I appreciate that.
Also, we want to thank your wife for letting you get out early and come over here. How long have you been married now?
55 years.
55 years. Yes, so you were married while you were in the Olympics.
Yes. Yeah.
Did she go over there with you?
No. Did she? I don't remember. Oh, yes, she did.
She did.
Yeah, she did. She went there because she was in the military as well.
Oh,
and because of that, she was able to get a flight, that went there, and then we put up in a hotel. So she was there.
So out of all your fights, was she the toughest you've ever faced?
Yeah, I haven't won yet. I have not won that one yet. Still fighting.
Yes.
That's a good one to go out on. That's your last question, Jay. Go knock on some doors. Got a guest for next Wednesday.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jesse, and your commitment, and thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
And I hope to see you again very, very soon. And I just want to remind people to do what is right. And no, I love what you shared is, teach people what is right and what is wrong, and do what is right.
Correctly.
And take the reins of your life and be the best you can be, and live by the 4 agreements and live in prayer. And God bless America.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. And thank you, Jay. Thank you, Mike.